wonder if I can set it up here. Look at TikTok. I just don't want my phone to fall. But I may be able to. Maybe not. Okay, yeah, it's not gonna stay. I tried. So, man, I don't know, these people, you're just hopping in, you're not gonna talk about anything. Okay, they're trying to jump into this live, but I'm not gonna let some random person just jump in that's not gonna talk about setting habits with me. Okay, let's go into this PowerPoint on how we can establish sustainable habits. This is a lifestyle change, because otherwise it's not going to be sustainable. We set goals, we don't follow through, and then we beat ourselves up. We don't feel good about it. Let me adjust this back here. So yeah, trust me, like I love personal development and all that, and I would set goals, and when it wouldn't happen in the time I wanted it to happen in, I would just be so frustrated. I also had to work through a lot of anger and frustration in myself, liver, as well as emotional things. So that was a whole process in itself. But what I'm talking about today is the basics of establishing new habits that are going to last for your whole life. Like, we've done stuff a certain way for so long and we want to change that, but what does it even look like? Like, yeah, I know I need to work out to lose weight, but how do I go from sitting on the couch in depression or anxiety, social anxiety? I don't even want to go to the gym, beating myself up, not getting good sleep. How do I go from that to losing the weight and being this person that I envision myself being and feeling good about myself and, having people I can trust around me and all these things? Like, that seems like such a big gap. And then we think about it and we get overwhelmed because it's like, well, I'm here. All these things stacked against me. I've tried and nothing's worked so far. How do I get there? Everybody says all this stuff, and I've tried visualization, I've tried manifestation, I've tried these things and they're not working. Maybe it just doesn't work for me, which is not true. It's just that we are starting from the end and we need to start from the beginning, but we've been taught to start from the end. We've been taught to desire these goals, these accomplishments, these physical, material things, and to look a certain way. Again, the American dream that we were told to have. We were told to do things in a certain way by this certain age, and now we're comparing ourselves even more with the internet. Keeping up with the Joneses was like a huge thing back in the day, but now it's like keeping up with the next person that you see every 30 seconds that you scroll. And at the end of the day, that's not going to bring you fulfillment. Money can make you happy. Yes, of course. It's a tool. It can buy things. It can get you experiences. But at the end of the day, are you fulfilled? Truly fulfilled? And I'm talking about like on a soul level. I'm not talking about surface. So when I talk about this stuff, the reason why I'm going so deep and not just talking about setting goals and the basics of that is because this goes deeper. And I say it on my YouTube channel, TikTok. I'm doing YouTube lives. So when I'm looking up here, that's what's happening. But I say be the change, and it's not in a cliche way. Although it sounds cliche. But when you be authentically yourself and you shine, you show others that it's possible. And that creates a ripple effect. And we can either be influenced by others or we can influence others. Okay. And I don't call myself an influencer. I call myself an impactor. Okay. Impacting others around me. Okay. What you give off, that energy, you literally give off energy to people around you. And it can go further away if you're intentional with that. But us setting these basic materialistic goals because we just want to not be where we're at right now. We just don't want to feel these feelings we're feeling right now. So we're like, well, if I don't want to be anxious, if I don't want to be depressed, then I want to be this confident, strong, wealthy person. And that's all we know. And that's real surface level. And that's a place to start. Yeah. We know we want to get there. We don't want to be here. We know that something else can be. We know that we desire something else. We no longer want to be here. But like I said before, you have to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You have to get uncomfortable. And life will do it to you, or you can do it to yourself. You can get up and start to be uncomfortable. Do things that make you uncomfortable. Get up every day and choose the hard thing, whatever that is for you. Sometimes the hard thing is talking to a stranger because you need exposure therapy. Sometimes the hard thing is eating the food that you don't want to eat because you want the food that tastes good. But the only reason why you want that is because we're addicted. We're addicted. Sugar is a drug, and sugar is in almost everything. Look at the labels of all your food, your drinks and your food. Look at that. And I was talking about this on YouTube Live about sobriety and alcohol and smoking, Mary Jane and stuff like that, and how I'm seeing it come up a lot, like people who feel like they need to quit smoking and all this. And one of the reasons is like not only the fact that like what alcohol does to the body, and I drank a lot in college and all this stuff, so my liver got messed up and whatnot, and I've worked on that for years now. But I'm saying that because not only the physical effects and the mental, because it's a depressant, alcohol is a depressant, but also the calories. I started looking at the calories in your drinks. The drinks that you're making has so much sugar in it, so much sugar. And then we wonder, we're like, well, I've been eating a salad. Yeah, but you also drank 3 to 5 drinks that are like 500 calories per drink. You're consuming through liquid your calories, and it's sugar. It's sugar, glucose. Okay, it's so much. This is why I talk about a lifestyle change. Okay, I'm giving you kind of like a baseline right now before I get into this TikTok. If you want, you can go to my YouTube, Alchamentor, my username that's on here, LAB Lab, Alchamentor Lab, and you'll see the PowerPoint presentation that I have up right now. And so this is kind of a baseline. I'm preparing you for what I'm about to talk about, because it's not just about setting goals. Anybody can set goals. Like I said, I've been in personal development for about 20 years now. Self-help, personal development, improvement, working hard, efficiency, productivity, optimization, all the things. I love it. I love it. I love systems. I'm good at it. But you can't cut corners when you're going deep. And if you really want change, again, on a soul level, impact, which is what we need right now in the world, not surface level anymore. We're not satisfied. We work for companies that just leave us on the side of the road. No, it's not secure. Even if you think a career is secure, it's not secure. Okay. Freedom is within, and that's the confidence. This is self-mastery. All these things. I talk about the self-discovery journey. That's the initial part in my book, The Way of the Seeker, on my website, bornvital.com. Okay, self-discovery, that's the journey to answer the call because you feel like something needs to change right now. You're asking the questions. You're feeling lost because you're overwhelmed by everything going on in the world. You were supposed to fit in this box. You don't fit inside the box. Nothing's working for you. You're feeling stuck. You don't know what to do next. You're feeling overwhelmed. What's the point if there is no future? Okay. All these things. And I'm an optimist, so I get it. But also, I believe in more. I believe in the change, which is why I'm sharing this information, because it is possible. All right. And so we start off on a self-discovery journey of ourselves, discovering who we are, because we've been told to be a certain person for so long. We found out everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. It's all a lie. I say we're a social experiment, especially if you're in North America, but it goes deep. I'm not going to go down all the rabbit holes today. We can go there, okay, on another live. But right now I'm just talking about habits, okay, because this affects so many levels, okay. And we're not going to, again, go down these rabbit holes because we need to establish what we believe and who we are. And then we will understand what will bring us fulfillment. And then we can go towards those things. But for so long, we've been doing it the wrong way. And this is why I say I've been in this space, personal development space, for so long. So I'm telling you what not to do. I'm telling you right now, this is what you got to do. We start from strategy. We start from goals. We know what we want. I want to be this person that has all this stuff and doing these things and going on trips and blah, blah, blah. And I see everybody else doing it. I should be able to do it. We start going on, victim mentality and all this other stuff. Again, you need to work on that. Self-discovery, inner journey, ego deaths, all those things. Okay, that's a journey. But once we can get past that surface level ego stuff, then it's like, well, what is it that will bring me fulfillment? What is it that I can truly go after? I want to start an online business. but I don't want to do drop shipping. I don't want to do that. Like I started online businesses. I wrote books. Like I said, this book is I'm actually passionate about, and this will help you. Okay. This is real right here. It's not just something to sell you, that has good information and practices in it for you to do, not just information. Okay. But how do we go from where we're at now, that we don't even know what to do next, to this confident person, to this person who has self-mastery, who went on the self-discovery journey, who builds self-worth and self-love and self-confidence and trust in themselves? How do we become that person? Because again, it's not about the things that person has. Those things will come. You will start to have abundance flow to you because you were magnetic at that point. I always say that our aura, what we give off, that's a magnetic thing, and you can attract things that you may not want. Okay. But we can also, when we stand in who we are in our true power, and be, like I said, impact others around us. So in order to do that and feel true fulfillment in our purpose in life, or our mission in life, I like to say a mission because it makes me want to get up and do something, because I want to fight back. Okay, rebel at heart, all right, warrior spirit, if you will. And so I have a mission. Check out my YouTube channel, like I said, in my about section on YouTube, in the description box. You can read it there, what my mission is, all right? And so I'm on a mission, so I get up, and that gives me drive. But if you don't have that, then how do you get from where you are if you don't even know? You're not clear, and you feel stuck, and you're weighed down physically, mentally, and spiritually. What do? I'm going to help you out. Like I said, TikTok, go on YouTube. On my YouTube, Alchemy, like my username, LAB, and you can see my PowerPoint. And you can always, this is recorded, so you can check that out later too. But all right, if you're on YouTube, what we got here? Optimist sees the glass half full. Pessimist sees the glass half empty. Engineers see the glass is too big. Nice, shine on. Hey, I love that. Thank you. That's cool. And look, we need all different kind of people. Okay, I just choose to be an optimist. That's my choice to live in this life. I choose that. So I'm going to look for the silver lining. I'm going to look for the good in things. It doesn't always feel good. It's life. But we're going to look for the good. So I'm going to help you right now to establish a good foundation, to establish these new habits, because we need to develop habits, not accomplish a goal. The goal will come when you become the person. The goal will come when you're consistent with the habits. But what are the habits? And if you're following along on I'm doing a 90-day challenge, I'm inviting you all. Again, YouTube, check out the description box for the habit challenge. TikTok, check out my website if you want. But habit challenge, we take it 1 month at a time, but I'm doing a 90-day habit challenge right now. My first month, that's what that was, a habit tracker that I created for you. But I lost my train of thought. I don't even know where I was going with that, but I'm going to get on with this. Okay, values over goals. I said we start with the ending, the goals, which is the strategy. Okay, we know what goal we want, and the strategy is I need to make money to be able to accomplish these things. The strategy is I need to work out to lose the weight. Okay, we focus so much on the strategy that we're starting from the end. I argue you need to know that. Of course, we need to know where we're going, what we want, but we need to reverse engineer, and then we start from the beginning, not the end. Okay, so we're just aware of the goals. We're aware of the strategy, the overall strategy. We want to lose weight, so we need to move our body and work out and eat good. But we reverse engineer that. That's why I do a habit challenge. So 90 days, 3 months can establish a new lifestyle. It can change your life. All you need is 3 months. But some of us won't commit to that. You're not uncomfortable enough. Commit to it. 1 month at a time. That's it. Take it 1 month at a time. But commit to 90 days. It will change your life. Okay? If you do 90 days, we can get clearer on how to move forward. It will take time. It may be a couple of years before you're this completely new person. But you have to do that. That future person, the future version of yourself had to start somewhere. And it took time to get there. But we look at the gap between and we're overwhelmed. So we need to not overwhelm ourselves. We know where we want to go, but we come back here, ground ourselves, realign, coherence between the heart and the mind, okay? So that we can move through life in our own rhythm, in our own routine with these habits. Boom. All right, I'm gonna get into it. Values over goals. I'm gonna argue values over goals. What's up, Lana? Thank you for joining me. I love you. It's good to see you in here. But yeah, values over goals. Building habits that actually stick. This is what we're talking about today. We're reverse engineering our goals. We start with our values because our values will establish what we even do this for. And this is your mission. This is going to get you up and get you moving. This is going to help you gain clarity. I'm going to help you today gain clarity with this. Like, pay attention, okay? Pay attention. Most people don't fail because they're lazy. It's not because you're lazy. We may procrastinate. I get it. I do it too sometimes. But you don't fail because you're lazy. We fail, again, because we're focusing on the goal. Something so far off. And it feels so far off. And we say, well, if I accomplish it before I die, I'm good. So you got all this time. Okay. Now we're taking our time, no urgency. Other things come up, so we forget about it. I argue you don't really want it at that point. It's you haven't hit that part, that rock bottom. You haven't hit that point that will change your life. So something's going to happen to you to make it happen. Especially if you know you're supposed to be changing and you're not. It will happen to you. It will happen to you. You choose it, or it's going to happen to you. Okay? But without clarity about what actually matters, you're going to continue to chase outcomes. You're going to continue to chase goals. And that's what I hear so much. People are like, well, I don't know what to do next. I don't know what to do next. I don't even know where to start. Okay? Without clarity that matters to you, your why you do this, your mission, without that clarity, you're chasing outcomes that are far away from you and that you really don't care about. Because those things are supposed to give you feelings. Or we're chasing those feelings that the thing is going to give us. But if we're not clear on why we even do this, we're not going to stick with it. So that's why we need to know our values. Because we need to be able to stick with it. Okay? The reason why goals overwhelm is because, one, like I said, outcome focus. We're focused on the outcome, the results. And it feels so far away. And then the pressure that you have to accomplish it within a certain time frame. Like I said, this whole American dream. We feel pressure to do these things by the time we turn 30. To do these things by the time we turn 40. To look a certain way in society. That's pressure. So then it creates overwhelm. It's too much at one time. On top of toxic load in the environment that we live in now. On top of regular responsibilities in life. It's so much pressure. So it's like, well, why even set a goal? Why even set a goal at this point? And then inconsistency, giving up, having to start over. Nobody wants to do that. Now you have doubt because you don't trust yourself. This is why I said self-mastery. Okay, we go on this self-discovery journey and then we start to build these levels of confidence, of self-worth, self-love, trust in ourselves because we've given up before in the past because things didn't work out and we had to stop because we feel like we failed and we're starting over because we lost everything and we have to start over. So again, that's like putting pressure and overwhelming, just all these emotions on top of itself. How are you supposed to set a goal at that point if you're in that state of mind? Okay? So a goal is just not enough to keep you going. All right. Now here's the shift. This is what will help you. This is the foundation. So pay attention, chat. Pay attention. Right before I get into that, I'm going to eat another piece of this, so y'all bear with me. Not right now, Noah. Oh.
Hey, you trying to battle?
I'm eating.
That's all good.
Doing a YouTube live. It's spicy. All right. So the shift that will change your life. Establishing your values. This is how you choose to live your life. How you choose to show up daily. Like I said, I'm an optimist. I choose that. You could choose whatever you want to choose in this life. You have your character. You play a role. You wear clothes that depict a personality. You show up as a person with a personality. That's your personal reality, as Joe Dispenza talks about. Okay? But you choose that because you can so easily choose to show up as a different person. Now, people from your past will be like, I know you from your past, blah, blah, blah. But you could choose that. You could choose to put yourself in new environments with new people and build new relationships. You can choose that at any moment to change. But you need to establish your values for long-term change. This will be how you show up every day. Okay? And that grounds you into who you truly are. And then you will be consistent because it's inevitable. You know who you are. This builds confidence and trust. That means I'm going to show up and I'm going to do it. Now I have more drive behind what I do because I know why I do it. It's aligned with who I am. Not what somebody else is telling me. Not what I think people want. Not this fake version that people show up as online just to make money or whatever it is. You just do that to make friends, to fit in. What you're supposed to do. Okay. It's more in alignment with who you are. So it feels easy at that point. That's the ease. That's the flow, the alignment. It's because you're moving from this grounded state. Okay. So this is why we need to establish our values. This is the baseline of accomplishing goals, of setting new habits. We don't just go and pick something random because we see other people doing it. Like I said, we can reverse engineer from where we want to go. But in my opinion, the first month of establishing a new habit is foundational. It's tracking so you can become aware of your rhythm, your personal rhythm. This is my habit tracker of what I'm doing right now. Okay, the last few days haven't been the best as far as eating the most whole foods, but this is the honest truth. I'm not going to fake it and lie about it because then that doesn't help. All tracking is, it's not a grade. It's a measurement to see, and it just reveals your patterns. So if we want to break behavioral loops, because what we're doing is just changing our behaviors, how we move through the world. But in order to break a loop, because you're in a loop right now, you're in a loop, you've used to it, it's muscle memory, okay? In order to break the loop, you have to be aware. Again, the self-discovery journey, starting to get to self-mastery, would be awareness. You feel a call, you feel a pull. That's awareness. What is it? In AA, never been to it, but I know the 12 steps, the starting part is being aware, and the next thing is admitting it, or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat, wherever you at. Okay? You have to be aware, and you have to admit it. Look in the mirror. It's not easy. Okay? This is foundation. If you want sustainable change, you have to do this. You have to look yourself in the mirror. And you got to call yourself out. And it's okay. It's not beating yourself up. Okay? It's just a part of the journey. It's part of the process. I always say trust the process. And you probably have heard this before. Love it. It's on my Facebook thing. Okay, in my background. I've had it up there for years. Because I truly believe in it. But I had to go on a journey to understand what that even means for myself. Now I understand what trusting the process means, and I'm sharing it with you right now. I'm breaking the process down. Like I said, I'm really good at systems. I'm really good at breaking things down and organizing it. And what I did is I had to just learn it. I do it through lived experience. Okay, I didn't do it the normal life. I said I traveled in a van, in an RV. I built out the van myself. I had help from my brother and uncles and things like that for certain parts of it. But I traveled solo by myself. Okay, I would just start to do things. I learn it. I go and do it. I want to experience life and live life. Okay, And I made money online, started businesses, all these things. I've also worked regular jobs, warehouse, different things like that. I went to college, okay, got a degree, cool, whatever. It's just experiences in life, learning experiences. I just collected information, and now I'm condensing the information and I'm sharing it with you, okay? In my opinion, unless you're going to be a doctor or someone important to, as far as like whatever you do, risk life, limb, or injury, you don't necessarily need to go to college, especially right now. We got YouTube University. You have so many people like me that share information and education. You can learn from so many people. There's a lot of information out there. Okay. I just condensed it down and I'm giving you a system right now. And again, this is through lived experience. I do this myself and I'm just sharing it with you. And I'm refining as I go continuously still. So again, follow along. Follow on here, on YouTube, subscribe. Okay. But I'm saying that at a certain point, it's not about the goals. It's not about pushing harder. It's not about sleepless nights. It's not about all that. Okay, we're reverse engineering and we're starting with the first month where we look at our patterns and we establish our why so that we will continue to go even when times are hard, because they will be hard. I am an optimist, but life is life. We're obviously in war, whether you want to call it that or not. Like, so much is happening right now. Change, it's crazy, all the things. Like, life's crazy right now. Oh my, y'all, my lens, my screw, I don't want to drop my screw. I'll have to find my screwdriver. My lens just popped out. What the? Good thing is I have an extra pair of glasses. Clean them all. All right. There we go. What the? That's crazy. I mean, somehow my screw, which now I don't see it. Oh, here it is. I don't want to lose that. My screw popped out. Anyway, like, I feel like every time I'm in live, something crazy is happening nowadays. I'm used to it at this point. I'll just keep going. So anyway, we're here and we're going to establish these habits. First month is about pattern recognition so we can break the loop and establish a new pattern, a new habit. But we need a good foundation. Okay, it is not about failure, because you will fail. You will fall. Things will work for a period of time and then they won't. Okay, especially if you're an entrepreneur, you're self-employed, you do gigs, whatever, like it's seasonal type of a thing. It goes up, it goes down, it fluctuates with the economy. Just the economy affects your jobs and all of us, we're affected by the ecosystem. Okay, so things will happen, you will fail, you will fall, but you get back up. Okay, it's not always easy, but you get back up. Okay. The thing is, when we think about procrastination, though, and the fact that I say you're not lazy, okay, you're procrastinating is what it is. And there's layers to it, okay? You need to build your energy. That could be involving the foods, your rest, your nervous system, all of those things. But it could also be that you're not in alignment with what it is you really want to do. And I see that as a huge problem right now with this American dream and everything that's going on in the world, of people who've worked corporate jobs, people who have done something for most of their life, or they thought they were supposed to do it, so they start doing it, but they get laid off. They don't feel valued. They're not paid. They're overworked and all these things, and they're starting to burn out. And I did a video a couple weeks ago about don't burn it all down. Trust me, I've done it. Okay. You may feel burnout, but do not burn it down. We need to direct that fire. We can direct it. Sometimes we do need to burn it down. But the world is burning already. We don't need to burn it down anymore. We can direct the fire to where we want. But that's why I say it's misalignment, because if we don't know where we want to go, the fire is just good. Like Fire Nation Avatar, the live action one, I like it. They're supposed to, like this year, it's supposed to have the new one. Okay, the Fire Nation. Why are there always people in red coats, all these things? Anyway, again, we're not going to go down rabbit holes, but It's misalignment. We're not in alignment with what it is our soul wants to do, what we're here to do, what our mission is, our purpose is. Okay? That's why we procrastinate. Or it's our fear that we're not enough to do the thing. So we procrastinate because that gives us an excuse, and then we use substances to numb us out and to allow us to continue to live life the way we're living, to just put up with it, basically. And that's why I say sometimes you got to be sober, sometimes you got to get uncomfortable, because otherwise you're going to keep doing it that way. Okay? But it's not failure. You just misaligned. When habits don't stick, it's not a discipline problem. It's a direction problem. You don't need more discipline. You need to be aligned. Okay? Next. Now this is the foundational part right here. Again, TikTok, I'm on YouTube. It is recorded. You can watch this later. Alchemy Mentor LAB Lab on YouTube. You can see the PowerPoint that I am showing right now. I'll go ahead and flip it for you so you can see. Oh my God. I just like that. Okay. We're looking at this. Bow. There's YouTube. This is what we're looking at. Okay. Like I said, we start with strategy. We start with our goals, and then we create a strategy. And then from there, we try and work backwards. We do need to reverse engineer from strategy and go back, but we do not start there as far as the first habits that we do. We need to start here. How you feel in your body and in your mind right now. This is why so many people are talking about nervous system regulation. This is why I did a whole series on YouTube for the last, 6 months or so, about realignment, okay, and gaining clarity, because this helps you establish your state of being, who you are, who you show up as, and the energy you put out there. How you feel in your body and your mind, you put out there. You can also receive that from others, which is why it's important to pay attention to who you're around, who you interact with, what you're consuming, because that affects you. And you're like, why do I feel this way? Self-awareness. Bring awareness to what's happening. Be aware. Assess. Again, first month, we're assessing. We're watching the patterns. For women, we know certain times of the month, I got more energy. Certain times I don't. I need to restore my energy. We're looking at our patterns here, and we're going to work with that. So we come into alignment with our state. Our state is how we feel. We want to be able to fully feel into our body. It's been brought to my awareness that some people don't even know what that means, what it looks like. So I'll dive deeper into this if you want more information on what this looks like. But basically, it's just tapping into your physical body. Again, substances allow us to run away from the physical body because we want to numb ourselves out. We want to feel comfortable. We don't want to feel the pain. Obviously, look, situational. You know your situation. You do what you got to do. Okay. But what I'm talking about when I say feel into your body is, what does it feel like when the wind blows on your skin? What does it feel like when you sit in your chair? I'm not talking about the pain in your back. I'm talking about the interaction between your skin and that physical chair, which they actually say, we'll go down real quick a rabbit hole, that we're not actually touching things. It's the atoms pressing against each other. Like a magnet, you got two magnets and they don't touch, but you can feel that force. Supposedly that's what's actually happening in this reality. Okay, you're not actually touching the thing, but we're not going to go there and come back now. Woo! All right. But what does that feel like? There was a video I watched, and they're like, the guy was talking about how to feel the tips of your finger. And the person in the comments was like, what do you mean? Like this, like physically touch the tips of your fingers? But you could do that, but also, what does that feel like when they interact? We're just tapping back into our body. You're giving yourself the space and the time to do that. If you were in danger, would you have the time and the space to do that? Let me know. If you're running for your life, do you have the time to be like, ooh, the wind feels nice today? oh man, I can feel my feet on the ground, and guess what? The earth holds me up, and I don't have to do anything. It just holds me up. I'm standing on 2 feet. What does it even feel like when my feet touch the ground? Okay, giving yourself a moment to do that brings you back to center, brings you back to the present moment. And when we're in the present moment, which is all we have, we only have the present moment. We're always trying to rush somewhere. We're always trying to remember and stay in the past. All we have is the present moment. Okay? When we come back to the present moment, power of the now, then we can decide what state we want to be in, which is, do I want to feel happy? Do I want to feel sad? Like, do I want to continue to have these feelings of whatever the thoughts are in my mind? You get to choose that. They say, don't argue with me, argue with the scientists, go online, look it up yourself. Something like 90 seconds is true, real emotions, feelings. Anything after that, you continue to perpetuate it. You decide to continue to ruminate on it. You decide to allow that to continue, or how do we change that? I like to meditate. I like breath work. Breathe, okay? Free. In through the nose, hold. Out through the mouth. Free. This is free. This is free. We don't have to pay for it. Free. When you do that, you're telling your body, you're sending a signal to your body, and it sends it to your mind that I'm safe. Because again, if I'm in danger, how am I breathing? Somebody tell me, how do I breathe if I'm in danger? If I'm in danger, it's excitement. They say there's a thin line between excitement and danger or fear or whatever. Okay, because your heart, like the physical response in your body is the same. We just interpret it different. This is why this stuff matters, because your perception, the way you interpret things, will determine your reality. My heart's going to beat fast, right? If I'm in danger, my heart's going to beat fast. My breath is going to be faster. Now I'm sending a signal to my brain that something's not right. And if the story that I'm playing is that something's going to happen that's bad, because that's always what happens when my heart races, then my brain is going to prove that to be true. And I'm going to start looking for those things. And now my body is saying, danger, danger. If I'm having those same physical symptoms and I'm like, whoa, what's next? I'm excited. Like, that means the possibilities are endless, but in like a good way. That like the probability of something good actually happening is pretty high. And if that does happen, then what would that mean? Now I'm allowing my mind to wander in that direction, go down that path. And I'm creating that storyline. Okay, because we can do that. Use your imagination. We don't use it, use it, use it, practice it. You have to practice. It's a faculty of the mind. I don't know off the top of my head all of them, but it's like will, perception, imagination, memory, one that starts with an R. I can't remember it all right now. I'll talk about that later, but those are faculties of the mind. Okay, that's what your mind is capable of. These are compartments. These are processes in your brain that we use. But when's the last time you used your imagination? For good, for positive. Do you allow yourself to daydream anymore? Okay, we say visualization as far as manifestation. What are some good books? Oof, man, I got a lot of books that I don't have with me right now. Depends on the topic. Of course, per my username, The Alchemist is a good one. But I always say The Slight Edge. That was one of my foundational books. The slight edge. Talk about compounding, the compounding effect, the 1%, a little bit at a time. It's a slight edge. If everybody's comfortable and they're sitting on the couch, how many people are actually getting up and being uncomfortable? How many people actually write down their goals? How many people actually go after their goals even when they fail? How many people actually start back over? Or how many people conform? Most people conform because they don't want to stick out. How many people get uncomfortable? Brene Brown, she Daring to Be Great. This is a good one. She talks about courage. We actually look at these famous people and what we really are looking at is their courage, because they have the courage to be vulnerable, to be seen. We think they have something that we don't. It's courage, it's confidence, but it comes down to courage. Okay, but that's really just doing the thing even when it's hard. Okay, but Daring to Be Great. Right now I'm reading Sean Stevenson's book, Eat Smarter. Okay, I just started this. I've only gotten like that far so far, but reading that. If you're working out and things like that, 4 Hour Body, very thick book, so I would get a summary or something, but 4 Hour Body. 4 Hour Work Week was one that I started with as far as starting an online business. I like Tim Ferriss stuff for the most part. He is optimization. He finds the 20% that's going to give you 80% results. I don't know. I'll have to think, of course, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Tony Robbins' Awaken the Giant. That's one of his old books. That was a good one. Eric Thomas, Greatness Within, or something like that. There are a lot of different books that are out there. Trying to think of any okay, here's one I highly suggest. Chop Wood, Carry Water. I have the audiobook, and every so often I'll listen to it. When I was working my 9 to 5, to get me through the 9 to 5, I would listen to that audiobook at least once a week and just let it play. And I think it may be I don't know if you let it play, it's a couple hours. You can finish it in a day for sure. But Chop Wood, Carry Water. This basically means do the hard thing every day. You show up and you do the hard thing every day. Okay? And Chop Wood, Carry Water condenses a lot of information, and it talks you through the guy who went to be a samurai and how he had to do that for 10 years. He thought he was just going to be able to go out there and do it in a couple of years. And it's no, for 10 years, you had to get up, literally chop wood, literally carry water, and then you practice to be a samurai after that every day. And you do it in any weather. You got to be able to do it when it rains, when it snows, when it's dark. That's mastery. That's mastery. So I'm talking about self-mastery. It starts with awareness. Okay. And then we look in the mirror and we acknowledge it. And we just go on that journey and we build the confidence, self-confidence. We build the trust that we will be consistent. Trust comes from consistency. You built that through small daily habits, the slight edge. Those are some books. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for asking that question as well. And if anything else pops up in my head, I'll let you know. But for sure, Chop Wood, Carry Water. Highly recommend it. Let's see. So our state of being is how we feel in our body. And that's choosing your attitude. If you go on TikTok, you can go to my pinned video, the one where I'm reading a book. I'm looking straight at the camera. And I'm reading out of this one book. It's called I'm a Spiritual Being Having a Human Experience. And it talks about your attitude determining your altitude, how high you can go. I also talk about the glass ceiling. It's glass, so we can break through it, but there is a glass ceiling, limiting beliefs, subconscious beliefs that keep us stuck and we're not quite sure what it is. Okay. I argue that when we meditate, now there's different ways to do this. You don't have to stop all the thoughts in your head. Trust me, that doesn't happen all the time. Breath work in combination with meditation. So the breath work tells your body what state to be in. It calms you down. It regulates you, or it can speed up your heart. And we can hold and retain, or exhale all of our oxygen and hold for as long as we can. And that puts your body into a state to where you can reprogram your mind. When you change your state, your physical body, you can now tap in to your mind because you're getting out of the logical brain. You're getting out of the logical brain. And a lot of times, and right now in this world, we get out of our logical mind because we don't have any control, because our body feels so stressed and in danger. We go into the fear mind. But we don't want to go into the fear mind to do this. You can't do that because that's not logical. That's the monkey brain, the reptilian brain. That's the basics of things. And all you can do is react at that point. Are you going to freeze? All the self-defense mechanisms, fight, flight, freeze, fawn, those things. You have no choice. That's automatic. So that's why we regulate our nervous system. We come into alignment. Okay? It's just realigning. And when we do that, and we build that habit, and we are aware of our patterns, then we can establish new habits. I said all that to get to this point. We can now establish new habits, but you have to create the safety within. We have to learn to regulate our physical bodies. We calm our mind during this time. We give ourselves that time and that space to do that. And then we can reprogram our mind. And on my PowerPoint right here, I'll flip this again so you can see it. At this point is our story. It's what we tell ourselves. Okay? We just talked about our state. If your state is off, your strategy won't stick. Okay? The next would be our story. What we tell ourselves is possible. I've already went into this in this conversation, so I don't really need to go too deep into this. It's as plain as that. That's what we tell ourselves is possible. This is our beliefs. This creates our beliefs. We were conditioned. We absorbed the things around us. We watched the TV and all the things that hypnotize us, and propaganda and all of this. So reprogramming is getting rid of all that and choosing what we want to believe. But we come back to center, to this state, in the present moment. And in the present moment, yep.
She's hungry. I just woke her up.
Okay, I'm on live right now, so give me a minute. All right. So in the present moment, you can choose what to do next. We're going to choose what state we are in, how our body feels, and then we can choose the story that we believe. This is where the values part that I'm going to get into in a second really solidifies. This is why it's important to understand your values, because this is what you believe. Okay, this is the foundational part. Like I said, the state is really putting your body into a state where you're comfortable and you're saying, you know what, I'm good. No matter what happens, I'm good. I'm comfortable in my skin. I'm building the confidence. I'm being consistent with that. My nervous system has regulated. Now I'm in a flow, okay, a rhythm, coherence between the heart and the mind. Now I can program my mind on what to believe. What do I believe? We ask these questions. It's okay to ask questions, but we need to get better at what questions we ask and where we get our information as well. But yeah, and then we go to strategy. Eventually, later, we'll get there. Right now, like I said, this first month of the habits is just pattern recognition, tracking it, and coming back to center in your body to regulate and to decide what state of being you want to be in. Your attitude. You want to carry. You get to choose that. When you wake up, you don't feel like getting up. Okay, most people don't. You can choose to continue to hold that emotion, or you can choose to say, you know what? It's out of my hands. You give it to your higher power, the creator, source, whatever it is for you. It's out of my hands. What can I do? Breathe, because that's free and I can do that right now. And I can tell my body I'm safe. I can drink some water. Okay, I can drink something. I'm going to get up and I'm going to stretch just quick. I'm not saying you got to lay on the floor or something. And I'm going to go look in the mirror and I'm going to tell myself what I want to believe before the world tells me what to believe. You have to do that now before you get on your phone. You have to do that to yourself. Self-talk, the way you talk to yourself. And it's powerful when you look in the mirror and say it. because it looks back. You can do it in the camera too. I talk about audio, recording an audio and playing it back, and just have that play in the morning. And that's what you hear first. Okay, this is reprogramming yourself. But putting your body into a state first will help you subconsciously reprogram faster. Okay? And then our story. So, you're not lazy, you're overwhelmed, you're not inconsistent, you're just unclear. Procrastination shows up when it doesn't feel meaningful. Okay? You don't fully believe that you can even do it, so now you have fear of judgment and failure because you don't want to look a certain way to others that you tried and you didn't do it. You only fail if you stop. You learn when it doesn't work out and you gotta start over. I'm the queen of pivoting. I'm the queen of starting over. I get it. I understand it. Okay, I'm doing that right now. You're seeing it real time. Okay, I did this habit challenge 3 years ago, and I probably had 4 people watching it, and it didn't go anywhere. But I also had to go through dark night of the soul, ego death. Okay, I had to release some things internally and go on my journey before I was able to stand here and really share this more confidently, be more consistent with my YouTube and all my other things. Life just happened, and now I'm where I'm at now, and these things are happening the way they are, in the divine timing as they should, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, because I do believe in this. Okay, this is not a character flaw. Procrastination is not a character flaw. It is a signal to listen to. Why don't you want to get up? Why don't you want to do the thing? I would say then, is it mental fog that you're having? Is it energy, physical energy? Because those are different discussions. These are questions to ask. Okay. But like I said, it's just a signal. It's a signal. All right, now let's get into value. So that's your state of being. We get up, we choose this. You can do it throughout the day. You have to do it throughout the day, especially if you're working a job, at lunch, before work. This is what I would have to do before my 9 to 5. Before work, I meditate, breath work, at least 5 minutes. Try to get that in. I for sure got to do that. Lunch, go outside, take a walk. Take a moment. After work, I would usually work out or go to a park. Okay, those are times for me to reset. On my YouTube, I've been talking about this. This is something that you may see around my neck in my push-up videos. It is a nasal inhaler. See that? I got a scent inside of here, and I smell it, and it helps me to calm down in the moment. If you would like one, DM me, comment the word scent, SCENT, on YouTube in the description box. I will get you one. The one that I will get you, because I only have 10 right now for people. And this is an initial pilot that I have, limited edition, okay? It doesn't have the hole on it that you can attach it to a chain. It does have my logo on there, Born Vital, right there. And it comes in this blue color. And it has a cotton wick inside, and there's also an extra cotton wick right here. So if you want one, let me know. Only 10 for 10 people to try it out for me, and let me know how it does. Again, if you are just joining me, this is mine that I'm tracking myself. This is free as well on my website, in the description box on YouTube, bornvital.com. Okay, BORNVITAL.com/habit challenge. You can go directly to that. It looks like this, 1 month at a time. You do identity-based statement at the top, and then you can track yourself. Again, this is first month is just tracking to, I gotta reset this. The first month is tracking your patterns. Okay, so anyway, I'm saying that because that's my state. I tap in, I smell my scent when I need to regulate myself in the moment, remind myself, all right, let's calm down, let's, get ready to do this. I listen to something, whatever it is I need to listen to in the moment. Okay. And then we go do the thing, do the hard thing, keep it moving. Okay. Because not every day is going to be easy. So you need these things, these tools to help you. All right. You can't just be raw dogging it. It's not going to work. That's why you keep failing. Okay. But anyway, so that's our state. Now we're going to talk about our story. I'm not going to keep you much longer. I've already been on YouTube for almost an hour and a half now. So I'm going to wrap this up. My food has gotten cold. And so let me take a sip of my water. So I'm doing one of these a day at least. It's my habit. That was more than a sip. All right. So now the story, how we can build our story. This is our belief right here. Okay. This is a values word bank. Now you can look up on Google, wherever you need to search it, for other words to use. This is just something that I'm giving you. It's a general values word bank for you to get started with today. So you can just gain some clarity today and get started. All right. Look at this list. Notice the areas and pick one word that resonates with you from each of those. Okay. Or just one word you want to, like, if you like, oh, it's a lot, just pick one word. Okay. I would start out with like 3 to 5, like I said, one from each category. And then from that, I pick my one main focus for this month. So TikTok, if you're not looking on YouTube, you can't see it. So some of the words as far as my values is health. I value health. Born Vital, my website, means that I feel like we are innately born with vitality. Okay, we have certain things that give us vitality in life. And throughout life, our energy and all these things deteriorate, and it pulls our energy and our light from us. And oh my goodness. Okay. So health is one. Clarity, discipline, freedom, growth, peace, focus, awareness, resilience, consistency, momentum, courage, connection, balance, simplicity, alignment, authenticity. So these are values that you can choose. What do you actually value in life? Okay. Usually it would be something also like family, finances, health, more categorized like that. And then inside of those categories, that's when we add these words in. Okay. But for this first challenge, you only want to pick one category. So am I focusing on family? Because I value that. I highly value that. I think that that's important right now. Or community, which means family, friends, local community, all that. Whatever my community is, do I value that more than anything? Do I value my health more than anything? Do I value finances more than anything? Because I want stability, and that affects all these other areas. What is it that you value? Pick one for the 90 days. Inside of that, we're going to pick a smaller one to help us stay focused. Okay, so in our finances, do we want increase, like we're pushing hard increase, or do we just want stability? What is it that we want inside of our family or community? Do we want growth, or do we want peace? Okay, what is it that we want? And then inside of health, do we want more vitality? Do we want aesthetics, to lose weight, to look good? So these are just, again, asking yourself these questions. What is it that you really want? So then you know what you value. If it's my health, I'm going to be honest. That's what I value the most. At least right now. We can always change our mind later. At least right now, I'm deciding that would be the thing that I value the most right now, because health is wealth. And it affects these other areas, because if I'm not healthy, I'm in pain, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, I don't have energy. It affects all these areas. But inside of health, okay, I may just want aesthetics. I just want to look good for the summertime. Right now, that's my main focus. That's what I value, is this physical appearance. So that's my focus. That's what I value. And I'm going to remind myself of that. I'm going to write that at the top of my habit tracker. Okay? To remind myself, I do this because I want to look good in the summertime in this certain bathing suit and blah, 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 blah. That's my values, and be honest with it. And it's okay. You don't have to justify it to anybody. That's for you. Okay? So this is why this is important, and this is also, you go ahead and pick your value. What is it that you value right now? And again, this will change, and it can change. You just pick something for right now. What is it that you're valuing? And that will give you some clarity to get moving, to get started. Once you start moving, you gain clarity. Okay? Action creates the momentum. And then we just become more consistent. We track, so we notice the patterns. We make the adjustments, and we just keep being consistent. And we grow a little bit at a time. The 1%, the slight edge. Just a little bit at a time. Okay? So like I said, you pick 3 values that matter most to you right now. Not the values that you think you should have because others tell you that or whatever. Because like for me, I'm single. So I don't have kids. I don't have a partner. All that stuff. So I would say family matters to me, but it's not top priority because I don't have responsibilities like that. If I had kids, I would probably say that's one of my top values because that's very important to me. I take care of them. It dictates a lot in my life, all this stuff. It's a responsibility of mine. Not that I have to do it, but I want to do it. You know, I'd feel that way, I feel like, as a mother. But for me, it's not. So I would pick, health, wealth, fun, adventure or whatever. So not the ones you think you should have, the ones that you want. Again, we need to align with who we are, what we really want. It will change. You will gain clarity. It's okay. But as you go, you're getting clearer and it will be easier and you're going to really refine what it is you truly want. But we need to start here. You got to start somewhere. So just pick 3. And then which one of these, if improved, will make everything else easier? You got your 3? Now ask yourself, which one of those, if you improve it, would make everything else in your life easier? Like I gave you the example. Okay, if mine was fun and adventure, finances, and health, I chose health. Because like I said, health is wealth. If I don't have health, I can't have fun and adventure. Because I can't go do the things because I'm sick. And I'm exhausted. And I don't have the energy. Wealth, I don't have the wealth because I can't show up and work. Because I don't have the energy. Okay, if I'm sick, I can't show up. I can't be consistent. So that's very important. So if I improve that, it will make everything else easier. I will have more energy. I'll be able to show up better. I'll be able to do these things and be consistent. And that will just have a ripple effect. So whatever one, if improved, will make everything else easier. That is your main focus for the 90 days. Okay, that's your anchor value. We're going to anchor in on that. And we only focus in that one area for these 90 days. No excuses. That is your main focus. Okay. We're going to wrap this up. Okay, I guess that was my last slide right there. So this was really just to help you gain clarity on your next steps to develop a new habit, to create a sustainable lifestyle. Okay, in this first month of this 90-day habit challenge, but really just establishing a habit for your new lifestyle. It starts with this foundation. I took you through the framework. We're going from state to story. I've already talked about nervous system regulation. If you're new here, subscribe. If you're on TikTok Live, check out my YouTube channel. Okay. But I talk about nervous system regulation. That's your state. Coming back to center, the power of the now. Follow me on social media. This is what I talk about on there as well. So it's good reminders when you see my videos pop up. But that's your state. And then right now what I'm talking about with this is getting clearer on your story, what you actually believe. Next week, I'm going to talk about your identity. We're going to dive deeper into your beliefs because this creates your identity, which is how you show up in the world. We're creating a new identity at this point. So go ahead, follow, subscribe, all the good things. Thank you for sticking around. If you did for this whole time, this has been a long one. I didn't think it was going to be that long today, but I really want to get into this. And it's very important. Again, this is foundational, and this is how you establish consistent habits and build that confidence and that self-trust and we can get to a level of self-mastery so we can show up and impact the world around us after we work on ourselves first, do that inner work. And we can accomplish these goals, and we can set these new habits, okay? So we can show up and be this new person. All right, so again, thank you for sticking around. As always, continue to shine on. Again, don't forget to breathe. Loosen it up, relax the tension. Okay, go easy on yourself. Talk nice to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Okay, pick your goals or your values, top 3 values in the categories of your life, and then which one, if improved, would make everything else easier. And come back next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the next live, and we will dive deeper into what do you do next. And we're just going to continue to go on this journey together. Let me know if you don't mind me eating on the live. I just talk a lot. I'm trying to get it out, so then I don't eat a whole lot. Also, if you want some other videos, if you want just like a day in the life vlog type thing, let me know. I was talking to my nephew about streaming. I've been playing some Fortnite. I don't do it a whole lot. It depends on if I'm here or not. But yeah, if you're into that type of thing, let me know. If you want one of my nasal inhalers, go ahead and leave that comment sent in the comments below. Go to my website in the description box as well, so you can get the habit tracker. And I also have a holistic wellness. I call it an ebook. It's a guide. It's just a couple pages long. It gives you the general overview of living a holistic lifestyle, and can start on the first page, which is really what we're talking about here with our identity, our mindset, reducing stress, and then we can start to establish new habits that are more specific and personalized to us. So again, thank you for joining me. I hope you found some value from this. Leave me a comment. Let me know, did something stick out to you in this? Is there more information you want to know about a specific area? And I'll dive deeper into that as well. But I'm going to get off here, finish my food, and relax. But y'all take care. It is Wednesday Wins. If you were on my YouTube live, you saw my wins so far. I haven't been doing good. The last 2 days I've kind of been off on my food, but I'm getting it together because I've been traveling and all this. But we're getting it together. Beautiful weather out. So enjoy yourselves. Again, talk nice to yourself. Breathe. All we have is now, in this present moment. So choose to be nice to yourself. All right. Take care. I'm going to get off of here.